Good morning and welcome to Zen Fits here in Blackstone, Virginia, the center of the world where nothing fits. But wait, if you're at the center of the world, then everything fits. Everything fits when you're at the center. It's like the hub of a wheel. If you're not at the hub, suppose you're on the periphery of the wheel, just taking all the shit, nothing fits. But if you shift, suddenly you're at the center. All the spokes that were before, when nothing fits on the wheel, the spokes are going in every which way. The wheel won't turn. It's got to wobble. Nothing fits. Nothing works. And then suddenly there's a shift. And now you're at the center and the axis and the hub, and all the spokes come to you. You're at the center of the world and everything fits. Go to the North Pole. Everything fits. All roads come to you. Remember in the Roman Empire, all roads lead to Rome. Or in the Catholic Middle Ages, all roads lead to the Vatican. Everything fits. But when you lose your center, the spokes are all going in different directions, each one trying to create its own wheel, and nothing fits. It's just bumper cars. Life is just bumper cars. Nothing fits. It's insane. It's absurd. And then suddenly there's a shift to the center and everything fits. And it's a great joke. And you just fall on the floor laughing like Laurel and Hardy. So the title of this talk is The End of Old Age, Sickness, and Loss. Now that was the promise of Buddha. Oh yes. There is suffering, there is loss, there is old age, you're getting old, things fall apart, you've lost your center, nothing makes any sense, nothing fits. Yes, that's life. But there's a cause to nothing fits. And when you see the cause, everything fits. And then Buddha says, well, now here's 8 things you can do in order to make everything fit. So you do more meditation, and you don't eat meat, and you stop drinking, and you do japa, and you do the yoga, and you go follow a teacher, and you study and everything in order to make everything fit. But you still get old and complain and nothing fits. And there's still loss, and it's a bitch. No matter what you do, trying to make everything fit, nothing fits. You just can't make everything fit and stay that way. But we get moments when everything fits. All the lights are green, and we say, oh, thank you, Jesus. It was George Seinfeld and George in the Seinfeld skit. When he suddenly everything fit. He got a parking place in front of the hospital. Oh, my God. And some guy jumped out of the window and landed on his car. So we're always in this joke of a situation where, we think everything fits, and now the washing machine broke down. You see, this is what Zorba is all about. You dance on the destruction. You dance on the ashes of nothing fit, you see. Anyway, I digress. Hang in there with me. So the title of this talk is The Cessation of Old Age, Sickness, and Loss, I'll say, instead of death, because death is a loss. I'm going to lose everything. You say, oh no. But here I'm 86, you see, and I'm having a little experience with old age. Because when you're old, as you get older, the body begins to have pains, and it doesn't have its flexibility. And I've practiced yoga all my life, and now I'm creaky, and I can't sit on the floor. I can't even get on the floor without struggling to get up, And of course, I have hormone treatment for prostate cancer, so I have hot flashes. Get the hot flashes. I get no sympathy from women. Oh, you got the hot flashes, ha ha. But I got the hot flashes, so every 15, 30 minutes I break out in a sweat. And then I cool off. It's hot. It's like I got a heat pump going in here, Oh, it's hot. Ooh, it's cold. We'll wear a shawl. See. Anyway, so we're talking about that suffering People say, "Oh, I'm so sorry. You got the prostate cancer, and now you got the therapy. Oh, that must be terrible." Well, I'll give you thoughts and prayers, so you'll be better. You see, thoughts and prayers. So what's going on here? I'm not the problem that Buddha pointed out, but nobody can figure out the cause of this. The cause of our suffering, our complaining, our bitching, our whining, that life can't be perfect like I know it should be. Why does this have to happen? Why happened to me? We're a constant victim. We're a victim of the world. We're a victim of life. We're a victim of ourselves. We're victims. We complain, we bitch, we cry. We're all Trump. You say, what's going on? What's going on? Make sure I had my mic. And so what's going on? Well, Buddha said there's a cause for this. Well, where is the cause out there? Can I fix it? If I find the cause, I could fix it. Well, that's the trick. There is no cause. There is that you can fix. There is a cause you can see, you see. Here's the difference, see. We think something's wrong, we can fix it. But we need time for that. We need time. If there's a cause, we say, well, there's a cause, and I found it here, and it's in the past, in the sense that the effect, in other words, my pain right now, the pain I'm feeling, the complaint I have, you see, has a cause. And it's in the past. It's not here, it's in the past. And if I could get rid of it, then my future will have no pain. You see how we think? So this is Freud. Well, if you're suffering, you have a complex or a trauma. So you go down, you dig into the past, and you bring it up, you make it conscious. And then if you can make it conscious, then you won't have it in the future. It's like a mechanic, Right? There's or a computer repair man. There's you got a bug. You got something's wrong with your computer. So you got to find the problem, and you remove it, and that removes the effect, which is your complaint. In other words, it's in time. But Buddha is teaching from a timeless place. So when he says there's a cause to your complaint, it's a cause to your suffering or your discontent or your angst or your cry, your whine, this why God, there's a cause to that, but it's not in the past, it's now. Whoa, okay, what's now? You. You are now. So the cause is you. You're the cause. What? You're the cause. What? So what? Let's dig deeper. So what is the cause of my complaint? It's my comparing mind. My comparing mind. And we think this comparing mind, this consciousness is comparison. Everything we're conscious of is a comparison of this and that. And everything comes in twos. Just think of anything. Be conscious of anything. It comes as two. It comes as, well, this is, my attention is on this. Well, let's just look at something here. So I bring this up. You see, okay, now put your attention on this. Now, what is this? Well, this is, first of all, I'm going to compare it to a form of a martini. So I know in a martini glass because it looks like this, you see. If I held up a regular glass, it wouldn't be a martini glass because it doesn't have a stem. You got to have a stem. You got to have a little V-shaped glass here, and it's a martini glass. Now this, of course, is a custom martini, but I know it's a martini glass, and it's not a shot glass, or it's not a champagne glass, or whatever. So I compare it right away. So just to know what this is, I have to compare it to an idea in my mind of a martini glass. And then a comparison would keep on going. Well, then I might compare it to other martini glasses. Well, I saw one that was better than this. or this is silly, you see. It doesn't measure up, you see. So the mind is measuring all the time, weighing, calculating. Is this better or worse, you see? So we're always comparing. This with that in our that's consciousness. And who's doing the comparing? The ego, you see. So my little ego sits there as the judge. So, well, this is a value. This is no value. Throw this out. Keep that. Work for that. Oh, you want to be awakened? Well, you got to work for it. You got to do yoga and meditation, and you got to do all these disciplines, you see. And you got to be disciplined, and you got to keep polishing your mind. You got to keep doing something. You got to keep doing something to get to the ideal that you want, you see. I was just having oatmeal with my wife, you see, and I said, "Oh, this is a really good oatmeal," and she said, "Yes. Well, once in a while, you get a perfect oatmeal. And I said, But every oatmeal is unique. It's only, in other words, we compare, particularly cooks, they compare everything to make sure it's perfect, so there's a comparison going on. With me, it's just oatmeal. I don't compare, but it was a good tasting oatmeal, but every oatmeal is unique, you see. Anyway, I digress. The point is that our modern consciousness in America is a comparing or discriminating mind that is always looking for value. This is a good consumer. A good consumer is a mind that is always looking for a better value. So the commercial comes up and says, see, the vacuum cleaner you just bought is not as good as this new one. So this new Dyson is better than the old Dyson. So you need to buy the new Dyson because it's better. You see? So right away I've got a pain. Oh, my Dyson is no good. It's not as good because I can compare it to the new Dyson. So I should get rid of that pain. I should get rid of that the pain of the comparing mind. I should get rid of that by buying the new Dyson. But then the new car commercial comes out and says the Honda you have is no good. This is better. Oh no, now I got to get a new Honda to get rid of the pain of comparing my hand. So the comparing mind is constantly creating new pains to get rid of. See that? We're indoctrinated into this mind because we live in a consumer culture. This is the engine of our comfortable life, you see. We're comfortable because we're driven to keep buying more comfort, better comfort. But the better comfort is never permanent comfort. It always, in a few days, months, becomes an old comfort and a new comfort is there. So we're constantly chasing new comfort, new perfection, new value. And that generates the engine of our economy. That's just the way it is. I'm not saying this is wrong, because that's comparison. So if I compare the economy with, we should be communist, we should be socialist, we should be have no government, that's the very mind that's creating the pain in our life. I'm not talking about pain in humanity. I'm talking about the pain in my life. That's what I'm interested in. My pain. Why do I hurt? Why do I get old? Why do I get sick? Why do I lose? You see, I want to know. I want to know what Buddha's talking about. What's the cause of it? Well, he points to the truth that the comparing mind is the cause of my suffering. So how do we get rid of that? You see, already we've created a contrast. You see, your current mind is no good because you should be without compare. You should be a mind that doesn't compare. So now I hurt because I've got a comparing mind, and I hurt because I compare the mind I've got to a better mind, an awakened mind. I want to be awakened, then I won't hurt. I want to be enlightenment, then I won't hurt. Well, that's the comparing mind. See, right there from the get-go. We set ourselves up to suffer. We suffer trying to get out of suffering. It's absurd. Now, if you can't see that, if you can't fall on the floor laughing, if you can't fall on the floor dying of laughter, you don't get it. You see, an ironic joke is you either get it or you don't. Nobody can explain it to you if you don't get the joke. They can explain it. You can get, oh, that's yeah, but you don't fall on the floor laughing. You see, so falling on the floor laughing is seeing through and through into the absurdity of the comparing mind, which tries to compare itself out of the comparing mind. Stop it. If you see it, there's nothing you can do because they're trying to do something. You're in time, you see. I want to get out of this fix in time, so I got to work to get to the mind that's free from suffering. That is suffering. So we create the suffering to get out of suffering, and that's absurd. And if you see that in your life, as you are doing it, you'll laugh. You'll say, this is fucked up. That's why yesterday I was rolling in laughter, writing and doing a talk on It's Fucked Up Sunday because of DSL, what time was out of joint, you see. I saw when the clocks changed that there was a body time and there was a clock time, and I felt like this morning. I woke up and it felt like it was dark, you see, and yet it was 7 o'clock. It didn't feel like 7 o'clock. It felt like 6 o'clock. Felt like, it used to be. But the clock said 7. This is fucked up. 2 times. But then now we're going to adjust, and we'll adjust to the time of the clock, and we'll forget the rub. But what I'm saying is that you got to remember the rub. You got to feel the rub, the contradiction all the time. You got to feel this contradiction between the mind that compares time. You see, the comparing mind is comparing my time, this watch, with Big Ben, or with the satellite time. And so we adjust my time. I adjust myself to an ideal time, to an external time. And this creates a jerk. This creates a disruption. This creates a discontent. This creates a wobble. Something is out of sync. I'm not in sync with real time. I'm trying to be in sync with clock time, with society time, with world time. So I'm always a little bit off, you see. I never can get my body clock. I never can get my wisdom time to be perfectly aligned with clock time, because clock time is artificial. Clock time is a sundial, is an artificial time. Real time is my time, this time. And what is this time? Well, this time doesn't complain. This time is just this time. We're not in time trying to get an adjustment, trying to correct and get wound up, you see. If you're in time, like a clock, you got to keep getting wound up. If you're out of time, or if you are in body time, in your time, in real time, you're always wound up. You see? I used to have, my father left me a watch, pocket watch, and I keep winding it every day. And I thought, oh, this is so great. I was in tune with my father. I got tired, gave it to my son. Anyway, this is a meditation. When you feel the pain of comparison, it is not in the world, it is in your comparing mind. There, and we're in the comparing mind because we're constantly trying to get in alignment with a false time. The time of Big Ben, the time of society when everybody moves 9 to 5, like ants, you see. You have to get in touch with your time, which is timeless. There is no time. We're not in time. We are time. We're not in time and space. You are time, space. There's no disjunct. There's no comparison. There's no wobble. You're it. Thanks for dropping in.